Welcome back to tonight's international friendly between the United States and Scotland, presented by Panasonic. 2-1 US at the half. Let's head downstairs to Kyle Martino.
Jurgen, give me your thoughts on the first half. What did you like from your team?
Well, I really like the tempo that we're going. You know, we combine really quick, and the movement off the ball is wonderful to watch. You know, how they help each other, and that we finish things off. We want to get shots on goal. We want to score goals, and they started right off the right way with Landon's goal. So I like the energy out there, and I told them to keep that going.
Thanks, Jurgen.
You'll like it. Thank you, Carl. Great to get the thoughts of Jurgen Klinsmann. Landon Donovan scored in the 3rd minute his 47th international goal. Michael Bradley in the 11th minute on the ball now was absolutely magnificent. A Jeff Cameron own goal created by a Kenny Miller header in the 15th minute. All the goals in the first quarter of an hour. Bardsley. Good hold of play by Matt Phillips, the Blackpool man from the English 2nd Division. Cleared by the left foot of Gary Caldwell. Both starting 11s remain out on the field, which is excellent for the crowd. Tough challenge by Bardsley. He's chosen to keep the cards in the pocket, the English teacher from San Salvador. There he is.
I could hear that one 2 feet in front of me, Arlo, and he went for that. I'll help you up after I kick you down. Torres wasn't taking it.
Not surprised. Torres with a free kick. Barely make out his number on his back. Number 16 there. Jeff Cameron. Torres again. There's Maurice Edu dropping deep once again. Work down the right-hand side. Cross comes in. It's a good one. It's just over the head of Torres. Johnson in support. Bradley gets it through. Johnson, good sliding challenge by Phillips. Concedes the corner. A third of the match for the United States.
Well, if he's going against any other player on the field, he gets there, but Phillips has tremendous pace.
Landon Donovan to take it then. 2nd minute of the 2nd half here in Jacksonville, Florida. Here he comes. Skimmed header by the Scotland defence, but they've got time to clear it here. An opportunity to break away. Nullified by the United States. So both starting 11s still on the field. Craig Levein deciding at this stage not to change anything. 4 of his starting 11 ply their trade in the Scottish Premier League, 5 in the English Premier League, 2 in the English Division 2. It's a United Nations from the United States. 2 players from Major League Soccer, 4 earn their livings in Germany. Michael Bradley, he was on the ball. Here he is again. Plays in Italy. 1 from the EPL, 2 from the Scottish Premier League. And Jose Torres plays for Pachuca in Mexico. And for them to click to the level that they did in the first half, having flown in from all corners of the globe, must be very satisfying for Jurgen Klinsmann so far. Donovan switch flats, super skill. Gets past MacArthur. Oh, it's opening up. Turundolo into the penalty area. Turundolo to the back post. And it's just a combination of Phil Bardsley and... Oh, now then, Boyd. It was McGregor on Jones. And the referee says no penalty. I wonder there, Carl, was there some contact? He was going away from goal. It was a very rash challenge by the Glasgow Rangers goalkeeper.
Well, it looked like there was a little bit of contact, and jogging to this ball doesn't exactly see Jermaine Jones, and I don't know if there's enough contact to call a penalty right there. Just grazed the outside of his foot as he went down for it.
I think Jones was trying to sell it, wasn't he, to the referee from El Salvador. There's Tim Howard. 74th international cap for the man who plays for Everton in the English Premier League. 267 EPL appearances now for Tim Howard, formerly of Manchester United. The USA in possession, they do. super play. Here's Landon Donovan, edge of the area, on the left foot. Landon Donovan tries to go to the far post and hits it. It's still in there for the USA. The shot comes in. Terence Boyd left-footed, and it's wide of goal. Wonderful play by Landon Donovan.
Look at this touch here from Torres. How cheeky is that? Sole the foot, rolls it to Landon Donovan. Hesitation, fakes a left-footed shot, goes against the grain, and you don't have to hit that hard. Just sees that hit off the post, but watch this. Swerves his body around. Goalkeeper at complete extension. McGregor can't get a hand on it. Landon Donovan just missing that inside side netting on the far post.
I think McGregor thinks that's going in, Carl, doesn't he?
Well, he's already shuffling. He's already moving to that side of the goal. Great awareness of Landon Donovan to try to go against the grain. Use the goalkeeper's movement against him. On 2 feet ahead of me. Getting ready to make a sub. Tying his shoes. Cowie's getting ready to come in.
It's the Cardiff City, Don Cowie. He'll replace Aston Villa's Barry Bannon. Cowie kept his head when all around them were losing theirs at Wembley Stadium earlier this season. Cardiff City of the second division in the League Cup final in front of a sellout crowd at Wembley against Liverpool, the mighty Liverpool. After 3 penalties, the shootout was level at 0-0. He slotted his penalty, kept his nerve. Cardiff eventually lost that shootout by 3-2. As a final that Kenny Miller was telling us about last night, also of Cardiff. Kenny will rue a late missed opportunity to break a 1-1 tie. Liverpool won the title. Here's Torres. Jones. Boyd ahead of him, but he goes back to Adu. Good one-touch stuff. Boyd in the penalty area. Throwing his weight around. That's going to stay in play. Torres has got there first. Into the near post it goes. Cleared by Scotland.
A little too unselfish there from Adu. You want to see him crack that one, and Boyd at the international level will learn quickly. He doesn't have that sort of time in the 18.
Here comes Jeff Cameron for the United States. Things have settled down a little for Cameron since that own goal in the 15th minute. Bocanegra, the USA captain, 102 caps to his name now. Boyd trying to open his body and lay that off to the left-hand side to Johnson. Away comes Scotland. Matt Phillips, pressured by Bradley. Good strength and skill from Phillips. He's shown too much of that to Bocanegra. Awkward ball for McGregor to deal with, but he deals with it very well. He's an animated figure just in front of you, isn't he, Jurgen Klinsmann? Always up and down, always gesticulating, shouting orders to his team, Carl.
I want to see one of those statistics, how much ground he's covered tonight.
Pace of the game a little slower than the first 45 minutes. It's been a searingly hot day today in Jacksonville, Florida. Cooled off nicely in the evening, but that first half was played at a frenetic pace. Dropping deep here is Kenny Miller. Scott Brown. Caldwell all the way back to McGregor. He's probably fortunate to still be playing international football, Alan McGregor. Of course, in controversy in 2009 with his teammate then Barry Ferguson of the Scottish national team. After a game in Holland, in Amsterdam, they stayed up all night drinking. The manager banned them from the next game, and they made slightly rude gestures to cameras who surrounded the Scotland bench. They were actually banned for life. McGregor, though, reprieved when Craig Levein took the job as Scotland manager. Clearly their number one ahead of Craig Gordon, who's on the bench tonight. There's Cowie, the substitute. It's worked on into a nice position to Maloney. Squares it, there's nobody there. Kenny Miller, you would expect there. You'd have money on him, Carl, coming in at the edge of the 6-yard box. The poacher to put that one away.
Well, you could tell from his facial expression, he knew it. That was his spot. Always able to sniff out where the ball's going next, where that next pass is going to go.
Cowie again is at a lively start since coming on. They do help this one along, though. Here come the USA again. Landon Donovan. Jones making a run to his right. Terence Boyd into the penalty area. Exciting challenge by Caldwell. Boyd still has it. Bradley on the right foot, digs it into the area. Boyd still battling for the ball. Suspicion of handball there, not given by the referee against Boyd. US have it back. Edu.
What's been so impressive is on the counter-attack when Landon Donovan picks up the ball or Torres picks up the ball, either Edu or Jermaine Jones or Michael Bradley join the attack. They sprint 40 yards to get up and join the attack.
Torres was in offside position. It didn't matter because Boyd was there and he sprays the ball to Johnson into the penalty area. It goes. Landon Donovan sniffing around. It's a player down on the field in the centre circle. And the Scots are unhappy. Scott Brown is lobbying with the referee to say we had a breakaway going on there, ref. Matt Phillips was the man in possession. Jermaine Jones has climbed slowly to his feet. But Scott Brown isn't happy. Steve Cherundolo just saying, hey, our player was down. Take a look at this, Kyle.
Well, he gets stepped a little bit on that Achilles heel right there. That one hurts a lot, and that's after the ball is already left. And if the referee gets a good view at that, we'll see a yellow card given out. Breaks the back of his leg, and that one hurts a lot.
It's Cowie with the foul. Scott Brown's in lively form tonight, isn't he? Celtic captain, SPL champions, 22 appearances, 3 goals this season for them before lifting the trophy at Parkhead at the end of the season.
Don't be fooled by the word friendly.
Absolutely, not tonight. There's been an edge to this game all evening. Both teams have come to play. MacArthur. Webster. Mulgrew. Mulgrew continues his run. This comes in towards Kenny Miller. It's over his head. Kenny Miller giving the thumbs up. He liked the ball. It was just a bit too strong for him. The goalkeeper by Tim Howard, marshalling his penalty area. Jones. Landon Donovan. It's interesting. I think Jeff Cameron there, Kyle, fancied a breakaway on the ball, didn't he?
He thought about it for a second.
He left it to his more senior partner. For the Houston Dynamo, he would have been gallivanting down the field in possession, no doubt about that. It's a free kick to the United States in their new red and white hooped jerseys. So the Scots are preparing to make a couple more substitutions. No sign of an imminent substitution from Jurgen Klinsmann. Torres. Jones. To the feet of Boyd. Donovan. Torres again. Donovan. Torres. Look at this run by Johnson into the penalty area. This will be a wonderful goal. Beautifully worked. Wonderfully choreographed soccer on the edge of the penalty area there by the United States. Jones again, he's been everywhere tonight. Mulgrew wins the challenge. Throw into the United States. 2 more substitutions to be made here by Craig Levein and Scotland. Stephen Whittaker of Rangers is coming in from MacArthur.
MacArthur had a busy night. He had to deal with both Michael Bradley and Jermaine Jones flying forward. What a great understanding that trio in the midfield for the United States have had. Maurice Adu sitting back, being disciplined, holding that hole, and letting Michael Bradley and Jermaine Jones get forward. And I'm not surprised MacArthur's a little spent.
Stephen Whittaker plays for Glasgow Rangers as well in the Scottish Premier League. Russell Moss in there in the EPL for Norwich City, who were promoted into the top division in England last year. Did very well. They made 33 appearances. Norwich City finished 12th out of 20 teams after the promotion. It's his 3rd international cap. Actually born in England, qualifies through a Scottish father. Approaching the hour mark here. at Everbank Field in Jacksonville, Florida. All 3 goals in the opening 15 minutes of play, if you're just joining us. Landon Donovan in the 3rd minute. Michael Bradley in the 11th. There he is, prompting again. Jones gets the cross in. Here's an opportunity. It's through. Landon Donovan with his 2nd of the game, and it's 48 now for the United States national team. Who says he's falling out of love with soccer?
Great little 1-2 combination right there. Jermaine Jones and Michael Bradley were just talking about them. They're way up the field, getting wide. Perfect ball cut back, but look at that. Draws in the defender, perfect 1-2, but look at this. Draws it back to the 6. Landon Donovan completely wide open. Calm, composed in the box, just slots it far post. And Jurgen Klinsmann loves it.
So accurate, wasn't it, the finish, Kyle? So poised in that 18-yard box. And interestingly, the Scots have made 2 defensive substitutions, and the goal came barely a minute afterwards. 3-1 to the USA.
We talked early, Arlo, about possession with a purpose being the key. You definitely can see the United States doing a great job of getting players in attacking position. Jermaine Jones, Michael Bradley, if you can't keep the ball for long enough to allow them to advance and get in a good defensive position, none of that can be built on the outside.
Torres to Bradley. Jones. Michael Bradley again. Bombing on here down the left-hand side. The ever-willing Fabian Johnson to the edge of the area. Beats another challenge. It's going to be a free kick. There surely has to be a yellow card soon for Bonilla. Andy Webster was the culprit that time. But here's an opportunity. A wonderful opportunity from a free kick for the United States. About to see a triple substitution for the United States, but we'll have the free kick first. Landon Donovan, he sniffs a hat-trick here. He's grabbed that ball with purpose, Landon Donovan. Torres is there as well, as is Michael Bradley. The crowd here sensing something. Bradley's already hit a rasper from the edge of the area into the top corner of McGregor's net. The wall is in place. The crowd roars. Donovan poised. Rolls it off to Bradley, into the wall. All groups kept the ball in play. It's a Scotland throw-in. So we might now see this the triple substitution that I mentioned a few moments ago. Need to get the numbers right. They're the 3 coming in. Onyewu, Gomez, and Beckerman. Carlos Bocanegra makes way.
Another great shift from Carlos Bocanegra. Sound in the back. Getting up there in age, but it's not showing.
Here comes Aguchi Onyewu, who lost the Portuguese Cup final with his team Sporting Lisbon the other day to a team called Académica. Great to see him back. An injury-filled couple of years, a patella knee injury. Kyle Beckerman comes in for Maurice Edu. We're about to see Hercules Gomez, and it's the end of Terence Boyd tonight. What's your assessment of Terence Boyd tonight on his first start, Kyle?
Well, he worked very hard. Always in the box, battled, did a great job of holding the ball up, did a great job of finding little spaces. But that final touch to set himself up to get a quick shot off, that's something that will come with time at this level. He's a young player, but Jurgen Klinsmann knows he has a bright star here in Terence Boyd. I think he's going to be around for a while.
There he is, Boyd. I think he's enjoying life at this level. Hercules Gomez onto the field. That central striking role. He won the Mexican Championship with Santos Laguna, who is with his first touch last Sunday it was. And straight away there's an opportunity. Here is the goal! It's a hat-trick for Landon Donovan. This week of all weeks. 48 goals for the US national team. 65th minute. It's a run for the United States. They lead Scotland by 4 goals to 1.
Michael Bradley again, having an outstanding game. So calm under pressure, gets it to Landon Donovan, puts it right in the path, outside of the foot pass. Landon sets it up perfectly, outside of the right foot. That's why he's the greatest goal scorer of all time in American soccer. In the final third, there's no one better, and I'm sure Clint Dempsey up in the box is liking that one, because Clint's been able to do that at the international level for the Barclays Premier League. Can't wait to see both of these guys on the field at the same time.
Correction is goal number 49 in international soccer for Landon Donovan. He could reach the 50 mark tonight.
When we talked earlier about questioning this guy, when Landon Donovan says, you know what, that passion's fading a little bit, and immediately the naysayers come out and say, you know, Landon Donovan might not have it anymore. Well, I said Landon Donovan, every time he's been challenged, proved people wrong. And he's proven people wrong tonight. Great performance so far.
And in some senses, Carl, it doesn't matter who is regarded as the better player. The fact is they're both excellent. And it can only be a good thing for the US national team if Landon Donovan and Clint Dempsey are cohesive and performing in this side together.
Well, I asked Landon, you know what, you've been the man for so long. Will it be nice to fly under the radar? And maybe Clint Dempsey is that face and is that name. He said it'll be a fantastic reprieve. And he's shown it tonight. And this might be that sort of spark that gets him that joy back.
If he wants to stay out in the spotlight, though, I suggest not scoring too many more hat-tricks.
It's hard not to be the face when you put hat-tricks up.
4-1. Real entertainment tonight from the USA. Games to follow, of course, against Brazil. Then on the NBC Sports Network next week against Canada in Toronto. And then the quote-unquote serious business starts. World Cup qualification. Antigua and Barbuda in Tampa, June the 8th. Followed by a potentially tricky trip to Guatemala City to face Guatemala. And then these guys can have a break. Whittaker. Gets it back from Phillips. Try one left-footed. Little rusty there from Stephen Whittaker, the Rangers man. Started 4 games for Scotland in the Euro qualifiers. There's an interested observer tonight.
Michael Bradley, so calm. Pressure comes on him, puts it right in place for Landon Donovan, and McGregor can't even dive for that. It's so perfect. Beautiful finish from the greatest American goal scorer of all time.
Magnificent from Donovan tonight. Substitution being made here by Scotland. Charlie Mulgrew has gone off. E. Wallace is into the game. Another Rangers player. There'll be another substitution here for the United States. This is a big moment. Joe Corona coming into the game. Jose Torres leaves. It's a first cap for Joe Corona. Plays for Tijuana in the Mexican Premier League, or Primera División. And away come the United States again. First touch for Corona. Here's Bradley. Outnumbered in the end. Brad Guzan's getting ready to come into the game as well. But Joe Corona played in that fateful or ill-fated under-23 qualification campaign for the Olympic Games. He scored a hat-trick against Cuba. He also scored against El Salvador in the game that was tied 3-3, which eliminated the United States. But interestingly, Terence Boyd, who scored 2 goals in that game, and Joe Corona, clearly 2 of the most impressive U23 players for the United States, and they've caught Jurgen Klinsmann's eye. So Corona onto the field for his first cap for the United States.
I remember my first cap too. You get out there, you're excited, your heart's beating out of your chest. You just need to get a couple quick touches, play simple, get into the game, and you start to feel it. But there's a lot of special things about this young player, Joe Corona.
First touch for Onyewu, and now they call Gooch. There's Corona. Tijuana finished 7th in the Clausura. Lost in the playoffs recently to Monterrey, who went on to the final to be beaten by Hercules Gomez's Santos Laguna. Here's Gomez, works it on. Now then, Landon Donovan chips it into the area. Free header! It's 5-1! Scotland are being torn apart. And Jermaine Jones scores his second international goal. He thought about the shot, Landon Donovan, and probably thought, I've scored enough tonight. Here you go, Jermaine.
Well, I can't think of a better U.S. performance in terms of transition. So quickly they get number 4. Landon Donovan picks his head up. Jermaine Jones even has to check back for that. It's very difficult. As this ball comes in, he's pointing ahead. He has to take a step back and snap that ball back. Very difficult to generate that power. Landon Donovan looks up. Jermaine Jones does the rest and snaps that against the grain. Near post, good finish, and a great counterattack again from the United States.
What a start to this mini tournament for Jürgen Klinsmann. Hey, Carl, if this is a 5-game tournament, they've virtually qualified already. This is a terrific performance. What a reception as Tim Howard leaves the field. Brad Guzan will come in to earn his 20th cap. Huge favourite, Tim Howard. An interesting stage of Brad Guzan's career. He was released by his club Aston Villa during the week, an English Premier League club, so he's on the lookout for new employers. Back up to Tim Howard at the 2010 World Cup finals. Scotland got to offer here then. A proud soccer nation. They played the first ever football international against England in 1872. They've been doing this for an awfully long time, but they've been embarrassed tonight in Jacksonville by a confident, talented United States team. Inside the final 18 minutes now. Is it damage limitation for Scotland?
Just off my right shoulder. Castillo's going to come in the game. Another fresh player trying to make an impact at the end of this game and join the fun.
Phillips loses out. Gomez fouled by Caldwell. Still no yellow card. I think he's forgotten them. So Edgar Castillo will come in to make his 4th appearance for the United States. He plays for Tijuana as well in the Primera División in Mexico.
At this point, I think it's
Fabian Johnson. Sorry, Carl.
Sorry, Arlo. At this point, I think it's safe to say this is Johnson's position to lose. That's a few very good performances from a converted midfielder at left back against Italy, against Scotland, bombing forward, send defensively. It's going to be tough to dethrone that player in that position right now.
And it's timely as well, Kyle, isn't it, with Timmy Chandler seemingly deciding that the USA is not for him. Eric Lehigh wasn't selected, the Aston Villa left-back for this match. Edgar Castillo is an interesting story. He switched from Mexico in 2009 after 3 friendly appearances. Made his US debut against Denmark. Joins Martin Vasquez, who's the assistant to Jürgen Klinsmann, as the only 2 men to play for the US and Mexico. But under FIFA rules, provided you haven't played a meaningful qualification game or a game at a major finals, then you can switch nations if you're under a certain age, and you can only do it once. Edgar Castillo, who was born in New Mexico, has decided that his future lies with the United States. Whistle Martin. Gary Caldwell. Andy Webster then for Scotland. Left-hand side is Lee Wallace, one of the substitutes in the second half. Gary Colbert again scored the win goal for Wigan at Liverpool earlier this season. They're swarming again, though, the US players, trying to win this ball back. Martin all the way back once again to Caldwell. No real intent for them to go forward at the moment. Can they create something late on here? What has been an entertaining jamboree of soccer as we approach the final 15 minutes. Carl Beckerman is just slotted into that holding midfield role for the United States. Straight replacement for Edu. It's Brown for Scotland. Pushing up is the right back, Martin. Back to Brown. All 11 men behind the ball here at the moment for the United States. They're not making any progress whatsoever here, Scotland, are they, Kyle?
Well, they've been overrun in the midfield. They've gotten their heads spun on the transition. And right now they look to be catching their breath and trying to figure out what's going on in this game, get their bearings a little bit, move the ball around, but playing negative more than forward.
Here's Brown. Martin inching forward on the right-hand side. Here he is. Opportunity perhaps for a cross. He tried to thread it through to Whittaker. Cleared by Castillo. It's been an exciting NHS season. The playoffs has been scintillating on the NBC Sports Network. The Stanley Cup begins next Wednesday. New Jersey Devils against the LA Kings. Whittaker. Wallace screaming the ball on the left-hand side, and here he is. Cowie making a run forward. Maloney offering his support. All the way back it goes again. I think they're just content to keep the ball here to take as much time off the clock as they can. Wallace again. Sean Maloney for Scotland. Now a chance for the United States to bring the ball clear. Excellent crowd here tonight. Largest attendance for a US men's national team match in the southeast. 44,438. Mostly enjoying themselves. The travelling Tartan army, a few glum faces. But they will party long into the night regardless, I'm sure. Jeff Cameron's own goal seems like a long time ago now. Michael Bradley's goal tonight will be replayed around the world, I'm sure. A wonderful right-footed sliced shot, half volley into the top corner. Fly comes in from Castillo, who is forward, but that suffers the ignominy of it going out for a throw-in. This international match brought to you by Panasonic, new Viera HD TVs, by Century 21. Here's Russell Martin on the right-hand side. Just a little bit of the pace has gone out of the game. It's fully expected at this stage. 5-1 to the United States. Plenty of changes have been made to both starting 11s. Sometimes, Carl, the cohesiveness goes in these friendlies, but I don't think anybody can complain with the level of entertainment they've seen tonight so far, can they?
Well, Scotland had that moment where they turned the game around. A perfect response from them when they go 2-0 down to start to get the game, to establish a rhythm, to go at the United States. And then the United States flipped the script one more time. And Jurgen Klinsmann's talked about strong mentality and the physical capability of this team. And he's worked on it. He's brought in sports psychologists. He's worked on their fitness, their nutrition, and you can see the intensity level, not only physically, but mentally from the United States, outstanding.
Whittaker. Martin making a run inside. Kenny Miller, all of the penalty area, trying to work an opportunity. Cowie. All the way back they go again. Long ball, searching ball by Caldwell to the left-hand side. Cherundolo is out there for the United States. Onyewu with the header. Cherundolo again. Yours and Gooch go up every time. Oguchi Onyewu gets the ball. So the last two substitutions being made here by the Scots. Craig Smith is a forward. He'll come in, we think, for Sean Maloney. He's put in a decent shift, the Wigan man. We expect Christoph Berra of Wolverhampton Wanderers to replace Webster.
Well, Berra was a little disappointed he didn't start this game, but Levine rewarding Webster for performance with Hearts this past season.
Caldwell. Whittaker. Scotland virtually at walking pace now. Sledging ball towards Martin. Castillo there with the challenge for the United States. And the substitution, the final substitutions here for Scotland will be made. Here's Christoph Berra. He comes in for Maloney. 32 appearances for Wolverhampton Wanderers this year in the EPL. They were relegated. They conceded 82 goals in 38 games. Greg Smith coming in as well. He plays for Brighton and Hove Albion in the English second tier. 6 caps for him, 1 goal. He scored the winner in his first Scotland start at Liechtenstein last October in European qualifying. Scotland unsuccessful, finished 3rd in a group with Spain and the Czech Republic. Good block by Kyle Beckham. Smith, dispossessed. Scotland get it back. Beckham with the key block again. Martin. States player down on the ground. It's Jermaine Jones. He's clutching his toes there, maybe stretching his calves out.
He's covered so much ground tonight. I said it before, that trio of Jones, Bradley, and Adu has been outstanding. Covering for each other, flying forward. Adu with the discipline to sit back. Bradley and Jermaine Jones joining the attack, making those overlapping runs on the transition, trying to find space in the final third, but also understanding that defensive responsibility is there. They have to get back and tuck in. Tremendous performance.
Well, they've got no more substitutes to be made here, Kyle, have they, the United States? So Jermaine Jones is going to have to be patched up, and he's going to have to get on with it if he can. Jurgen Klinsmann's made all 6 of the agreed substitutions in this friendly international. Inside the final 6 minutes now. Wonderful scoreline. If you're a follower of the United States, he's happy. Clint Dempsey, as he recovers from that groin injury that kept him out of what could be his final game for Fulham in the English Premier League. We'll be talking to Clint Dempsey in extra time, our post-game show here at Everbank Field. 23 goals in all competitions, a remarkable season for Clint Dempsey. The United States are in Group A of World Cup qualifying in the CONCACAF region. Guatemala, Jamaica, Antigua and Barbuda are the opposition. This first phase for them, the top two in the group will qualify for a final group which will contain 6 teams. The top 3 automatically go to Brazil. 4th place in that group qualifies for a playoff against the team that finishes highest in the Oceania section, which could be, who knows, Kyle, New Zealand against Canada, potentially. New Zealand against the United States for a place in Brazil 2014. I can't see the United States falling as low as 4th in that qualifying group, but a lot of work to be done between now and Brazil 2014. The crowd just being told about tonight's record attendance. Happy group on the bench. Closing stages here in Jacksonville. A hat-trick for Landon Donovan. Michael Bradley and Jermaine Jones with the other goals. 5-1. Martin. Whitaker. As we chatted down on the field, just about where you are between the benches, Carl, to Jurgen Klinsmann last night, didn't we? And he just stressed the mentality of the big tournament, that they will not dwell on any performance, win, lose or draw. Tomorrow morning, it'll be all about Brazil, won't it, for this team? They won't be allowed to bask in the glory of a 5-1 victory against Scotland for too long.
When you referred to it earlier, he said, we made that mistake with Germany so many times. We got excited about our performances. We thought we were good. We thought we should win games. And we didn't keep our eyes forward and focus on the next game.
Said some of his German teammates were playing golf in the morning during certain tournaments. I think they thought they were better than they were. Donovan slides it through towards Gomez. Whitaker across. Diego with a header. All fours here. It's a spectacular effort from Kenny Miller. Too high. Looking for his 17th international goal, Kenny Miller. Oldest member of this squad, 61 international caps, one of the few men to play for Celtic and Rangers in Glasgow, and played Champions League football for both of those sides as well. Scored the winning goal in a World Cup qualifier against Italy at Hampden Park in 2005, a famous victory for the Scots. If they don't manage to qualify for the 2014 World Cup finals in Brazil, their wait for a major tournament would stretch to 16 years. They used to be staples at that level. But when you start losing and not qualifying, it becomes more difficult. The teams in your qualification groups become better, the higher seeds. And Scotland have slipped down the FIFA rankings to number 48. As it goes on, it becomes more difficult to get to these showpiece finals. The European Championships, by the way, start on June the 8th, a month-long tournament. The Scotland players will be on the beach. Brown. Stephen Whitaker. Martin checks his run and goes down the right-hand side, but he goes across to the left. Christophe Berra. Lee Wallace.
Scotland, they don't have any answers right now. They want to hear that final whistle.
Carl Beckerman, captain of Real Salt Lake. And you're looking for leadership in this squad, Kyle. There are 5 club captains, aren't there, amongst this group for Jurgen Klinsmann. Bocanegra for Rangers, Cherundolo for Hanover in Germany, Clarence Goodson for Brøndby in Denmark, Landon Donovan, of course, for the LA Galaxy, Carl Beckman for Real Salt Lake. there is no shortage of leadership in this group of players.
Well, even Carlos Bocanegra said, I wear the armband, but there's plenty of captains out here. And it makes it so much easier to get into camp and get busy, get to work, and have things click immediately when you have that many captains out there.
3 goals tonight for that man. One shy of 50. There'll only be a minute of time added on at the end of the 90. We've just about reached that now. The Scots will be put out of their misery sooner than they perhaps feared. Food for thought for Pig Levine over the summer months. Gary Caldwell will go 90 minutes.
When I talked about being compact and countering, and they definitely weren't compact tonight, and we mentioned the criticism he's faced with playing a little more defensive, and he tried to play a little more offensive tonight, but those 3 up top spreading out didn't get pressure on that final 4 for the United States. They opened themselves up. The United States punished them.
Closing stages, the final 20 seconds or so. All eyes will be on Elmer Bonilla, the referee. The crowd can sense, and they will roar their approval. 44,000 in attendance tonight in Jacksonville, Florida. 2-0 up after just 11 minutes, 2-1 at half-time. Then the floodgates open for the US in the second half, and that's it. A super display by Jurgen Klinsmann's United States. The first of 5 games in 18 days. He stresses he wants to treat it like a tournament. The next one they're trying to qualify for, Brazil 2014. The 2 coaches shake hands. This mini-tournament style section of games for the United States is off to an absolute flyer. They're happy. Landon Donovan is happy. 3 goals tonight. Michael Bradley with 1 as well. Scott Brown did his utmost, the Celtic captain, but could not stem the flow. Kenny Miller involved in the only goal for Scotland. A header that ricocheted off Jeff Cameron's mid-drift and wrong-footed Tim Howard. But what a super display by the United States tonight. Bradley's goal will be remembered for a very long time. A right-footed half volley. He put wonderful slice on it. It curled away from a despairing Alan McGregor's dive and into the top corner of the net. You will not see a better goal for a long time. His 10th Michael Bradley international goal. Jeff Cameron did well, the Houston Dynamo centre-back. Very tidy in distribution. And on they march, the United States. A tougher test on Wednesday in Maryland at FedEx Stadium against Brazil, the hosts of the next World Cup finals, of course. And then they'll be back on our air next Sunday on the NBC Sports Network against Canada, a match which will celebrate 100 years of the Canadian Football Association. And let's remind ourselves of Landon Donovan's night. 3 goals, 47, 48 and 49 of his international career. He didn't take long to get going, did he? This is the 3rd minute of the match. Bradley involved, Jones involved, the Scottish defender involved. It was blocked the first attempt. He was straight at it. And as Carl Martino pointed out, that was reminiscent of his goal against Slovenia in the World Cup finals. That was a superb finish. Once again, past the right hand of Alan McGregor. And this capped it all off. In off the post. A hat-trick for Landon Donovan. His 2nd in Florida for the US men's national team. And he's soaking up the applause. In such a reflective mood this week. Questioning his future in soccer. Maybe 2 more years left this next World Cup cycle. But it's nights like tonight that surely will help to reignite the desire for Landon Donovan. They love him here in Jacksonville. He's been a magnificent player for the national team over the last 12 years. This is 125th start tonight. That broke Jeff Agoose's all-time record. 139 caps now for Landon Donovan. Michael Bradley had a sensational first half as well. Speaking of Landon Donovan, he's down on the field now with Kyle Martino.
Thanks, Arlo. How about this response? You made a stir with your comments lately, and a couple of critics are saying Landon Donovan's passion might not be there anymore. Is his heart for the U.S. national team still there? What kind of statement did you make to those people tonight?
Well, we put on a really good performance tonight. It's been a tough 10 days of training for most of these guys, 7 days for some of us. And we wanted to come out and put on a good show. It's not often you get 44,000 people here. And I remember a few years back I had a hat trick in Florida, and maybe it's a good state for me.
Offense clicking tonight. Defensively, things have gotten figured out. Not letting up any goals in 2012. Tonight, it was all about the offense. Why was it clicking so much? Our
movement was really good. The three guys in the midfield did a great job of moving and passing the ball quickly. And it really made it easy for Jose and myself wide. We had tons of space. Any attacking player gets that kind of space, we're going to score eventually.
Thanks, Landon. Congratulations. Back up to you, Arlo.
Thank you, Kyle. Well played, Landon Donovan. Coming up next, extra time, Clint Dempsey joins us on our studio set. That's coming up right after these messages. Final score, USA 5, Scotland 1.